Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite YouTuber. Today we're going to talk about vintage shopping. Unintentionally, I am making this video a theme because I picked out right here 4 bags that are under $1,000 that are Louis Vuitton. They're in amazing condition. And these bags are all from the Marc Jacobs era. So unintentionally, it's a Marc Jacobs day, including the bag that I brought in today. I'm carrying my Marc Jacobs stamp. So I came in today with the intention of let's do a how to shop for vintage bags. And coincidentally, I found 4 Marc Jacobs bags, all under $1,000, all in amazing condition. Now don't sleep on this. I haven't seen this many Marc Jacobs bags in a while. And these types of bags from this era, like 2000 to 2012-ish, the shoulder bag, the hobo bag is really coming back into style. I'm going to show you the bags, but also show you what to look for when you're shopping for a vintage bag. In some cases, what you can repair and what you cannot repair. So let's start with this beauty. This is the Thames in Damier Ebene, and her price, so the price of everything here is $995. Under $1,000 for a Louis is unheard of, and quite frankly, these bags are so much cuter and better made than what you'll find in the store today. Condition of this one is absolutely perfect. You can see there's like maybe some minor scratches on the leather, and there's definitely scratches on the hardware. I know that's a common question. If there's scratches on your hardware, don't worry about it. Don't try to polish it out. It actually looks just fine with it. Now, if this bag was in not so good condition, there were things you would be able to replace, such as the leather and the zipper, all for a cost. I do not believe you can switch out this plaque of the hardware just because this bag is no longer made. But like I said, don't worry about that piece. Other places you can replace, and I would highly encourage taking a look at, is the corners to make sure the piping is not worn out and that the piping isn't poking through. Sometimes that could happen on a bag, so it's up to you if that's a piece that you're going to want to repair. And to repair that, Louis Vuitton will have to take apart the whole bag to put it back together again. You can also ask a local cobbler who has experience with the luxury bags if that's something, a risk that you're willing to take. This bag also has, it looks like the original dust bag. So somebody used this and, bought it and didn't use it very much. Maybe once, or not very much at all. The vintage Louis Vuitton bags, they have a very red lining. This has a beautiful canvas lining. And I'm going to look at its date code for you. So this bag is 2008. By the way, all the bags in this video are available for sale. So if there's one that you want, you're just going to email me in the comments. I'll put my email address, info@dialandstyle.com. Now, the advantage of shopping with me is I can see these bags and I can see that they're really great, as opposed to if you're shopping on Fashionphile and you can't really see the true condition of the bag, although they describe it to the best of their ability. Now, here's another style that was super popular back in the day. I wouldn't say super popular, but definitely this wouldn't be out of style if you were to wear it today. This is the original Manhattan. You see with the canvas bags, the flaps like these, they tend to curl up just a little bit. That's a sign of a vintage bag. It's got these big push button buckles, which inevitably will have little scratches. Totally sign of the times with the pockets, the big studs, the double layer of leather, all that good stuff that I really love. So I'm going to look at the bottom of this one. I've said this before, if you have corners of the bag, it's inevitable that they will experience a little bit of wear and tear, which shouldn't freak you out. This bag does not have feet. I believe the bigger version of this bag does, but this one doesn't. This one does open all the way, and this bag has some stains inside, so that's up to you. If you want to try to steam them out, you could probably do so. This also has the very thick lining, which I like. If you can feel the vintage bags, they have much weightier feel and thickness, both on the lining and in the canvas. Another thing to note, if your bag has any odor, and generally in this store they do not, but if that's something that concerns you, sometimes it smells like perfume. I just use regular newspaper and stuff the bag with newspaper. You can also use charcoal packet and it will absorb the odors. Other things to look for, and these aren't good examples. Well, you can see here, there is a little staining on the vachetta strap. Other than that, the glazing, this is how it should look after your bag has been worn. It turns from red to brown. So it looks amazing condition. Let's look at another one that's been used a little bit more, and I can tell because the vachetta trim it's definitely been worn in more. If that doesn't bother you, go for it. Every piece of the bag, like hardware, vachetta, it's really a personal preference. So I can't answer you if you're going to ask like, how brown should my vachetta be? Some people like it really brown. Some people like it like completely untouched. If you do want it untouched, this is a situation where you can bring it back to the Vuitton service center and they can replace all of the leather for you. However, that is going to be very pricey these days. It's not as cheap as it used to be. Considering this is the piece on your shoulder and this is the piece under your arm, you would expect wear and tear. So for this, if you're planning to use the bag, it's going to get a lot more stained and vachetted than it currently is. That's something I would consider because eventually, like for me, those types of small details are not going to matter in the long run if I'm going to use this bag to enjoy it. Okay, inside looks amazing. So far, 2 out of the 3 bags I've shown are made in the USA. Nothing wrong with the made in the USA craftsmanship. They are just as beautiful. I've been told that the newer bags have thicker canvas if the bag is supposed to be structured, and it feels softer if the bag is supposed to be slouchy. So far for this one and the Manhattan, the canvas feels pretty thick. I forgot one thing. When you're looking at the canvas, the most important thing you're going to look at is that it doesn't have any cracks. So, for example, on a bag like this, it could develop cracks right in the wear area where you wear it under your arm and open and close. Luckily, this one doesn't. It has the binding to prevent the cracks. If you find any cracks in the canvas, it is not repairable at all. In fact, the current 𝐼𝐸𝐴 is made without the binding and was found to have a lot of canvas cracks. So I believe they redid it with the binding like this so that it would not crack. So that's another important piece to look for because cracked canvas, ripped or torn canvas is not going to be repairable by your Vuitton boutique. If you want to patch it or sew it, whatever you want to do, that is up to you. I have to add this, another plus for looking for a vintage bag. You're less likely going to find a high quality fake if it's a vintage bag. But things to look at, make sure that these squares line up as much as possible. They aren't going to line up exactly, but you can see they line up as much as possible. Same with the fleurs. If you look at a Louis Vuitton bag, LV logo is going to be in the middle of each pocket. And it's going to be in the middle, right there. It's going to be centered as possible when you look at a bag like this. I do know that the Manhattan, back in the day, there were counterfeits made because my friend had one and she was convinced it was real and it was wrapped in plastic coming from Chinatown. I don't know why she thought it was real. The quality and the feel of the bag was more like vinyl, where you can feel that clearly this is canvas. But those are some things you should look at. If the LV logo lies in the middle, that's super important to look at. Now, another thing to know that people commonly ask me, the date code. This Damier Ebene is made in France. The date code is not a serial code. It's not a serial number. It's not something that's kept in storage that you could bring to Louis Vuitton and say, here's the number. Can you tell me if it's authentic? Because even the tags can be replicated. Okay, lastly, this is a bag we haven't seen very much. This is the Rosewood Avenue Isn't that gorgeous? This is in the color Amarante. It is a kind of like a purplish burgundy brown. I honestly feel like this is one of the most beautiful colors ever made. It's in that triangle shape. So right now the triangle Prada Bonnie is a hot bag right now. Look how cute this is. I love this. This is like so Paris Hilton to me. So the quality of the Vernis. So Vernis basically means varnish. It's a patent leather. It's a shiny leather. This has a few marks on the bottom. It feels like they can be polished. But these bags, even though they are Vernis, it's not as delicate as you might think. There are no scratches on this bag. There is this outer pocket here that's super cute. And this zips all the way down here. Look at this little detail. You can unclip this and pull that out to open if you need to. These are some of the details that honestly are missing in today's styles. Marc Jacobs was just the best when it came to bags. So this one is made in France. Oh, look, she does have her original dust bag. Now, when you're vintage shopping, you most likely will not find the original dust bag. It really depends where you are. To me, it looks like these bags were placed in the closet and not used. It might even be from the same person. To show you what this is, a triangle bag, but it actually opens up to a rectangle. So it's very, very roomy. And the quality of the vachetta, this is amazing. So this bag really looks like it hasn't been used. It probably just has the marks from whatever it was sitting on in the closet. So also, this is something that you can replace the leather, and something I will suggest, because I can see that you can adjust the leather. When I put this on, it was a little short for my armhole, my armpit. So I'm gonna make that longer. The newer bags are lacking. Not all of them have an adjustable strap. For example, the 𝐼𝐸. The 𝐼𝐸 does not have an adjustable crossbody strap. So that's a deterrent for people who are taller, can't really rock that bag if you want to wear it crossbody. However, I feel like the 𝐼𝐸 is a good handbag. I'm going to point out something. There's a little mark there from the hardware, which is going to happen whether your bag is vintage or if it's brand new. It's going to happen on your bag no matter what. Okay, see, that's like 2 inches longer on each side and fits much more comfortably than it previously did. This is a gorgeous bag. Like I said, everything here is for sale. Now, other things you want to look at the condition inside, look at the tag, look at the stitches, look at the leather. So everything about these particular bags look and feel absolutely authentic. Nowadays, like, it is kind of hard to tell with some of the newer styles. With the older styles where honestly, copycats weren't as good, you can definitely tell. So one telltale sign, honestly, is that the bag is heavy. And this is why I love the vintage bags, having the feel of the heavier bag. Yes, it's heavier when you carry it, but to me, that's the mark of a true Louis Vuitton. So actually, I don't have any bad examples to show you, but lastly, you're going to look at the zipper. The original Louis Vuitton zipper is metal. You might see if somebody has replaced the hardware, if they were going cheapy, the hardware might not look as metal as this. Like, it is a shiny and it's a big zipper. It's not like a little hidden zipper. And you can see that on all of the bags here, of course, except for the one that doesn't have the zipper at all. Also, for that reason, the zipper is not going to feel like, it's going to feel like it has a little tension when you're pulling it. So those are just some of the things I am going to recommend you look at when you're looking at a vintage bag. So for example, on this one, the floors are not going to match up exactly, precisely, because that's very hard to do with this type of pattern of bag. Don't freak out. Don't think, oh my gosh, that's not what I want. That's not made correctly. If you look at the rest of it, so it's not the LVs that are in the middle, but they are evenly spaced here. And this row of flowers is going to be in the middle, and then it goes accordingly. And just expect the stitches, the glazing, even around the patches, how everything was so incredibly detailed. And this is what I would expect out of a luxury bag And another reason, I can't say enough, this is why I love the vintage bags. They're so detailed, like even the way this leather folds over and has a little stud and that piece is glazed. Stitching looks amazing and perfect. Okay, so like I said, all these bags are for sale and available and under $1,000, and definitely something that you can wear right now. Hobo bags, shoulder bags, even the Manhattan, your triangle bag, all trending. And actually, isn't it kind of cool to wear vintage? So also in my last video, I mentioned that Louis Vuitton often goes back into the vault, not just Louis, but Balenciaga, Gucci, they go back into the vault and bring back old styles. I feel like we've passed the era of wanting something new. At this point, the brands have kind of slowed down on showing us anything new and have gone back into their vault to what works. But also that's the cycle of fashion, and we see these styles from 2000s rolling back into the scene, looking completely fashionable and in style with what we have today. And personally, I love to see it. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this episode, how to shop for a vintage bag, or if you love any of these bags, send me an email and we will ship out the bag to you. My email is below at info@dialmstyle.com, and don't forget to join the waitlist for the handbag.exchange, in which I'm building a community where you, my viewers, can share your love of handbags and be able to buy and swap bags from each other with me as your concierge to make sure that every transaction, every bag is authentic and goes smoothly. If you're to this part of the video, guys, thanks so much for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.